This episode is brought to you by Shopify. Whether you're selling a little or a lot, Shopify helps you do your thing, however you cha-ching. From the launch your online shop stage, all the way to the we just hit 1 million orders stage. No matter what stage you're in, Shopify's there to help you grow. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/special offer, all lowercase. That's shopify.com/special offer.
When it comes to towing, seeing is believing. That's why Chevy Truck's advanced camera technology offers up to 8 available cameras for 14 unique views, so you can focus on the view that really matters. Chevrolet, together let's drive. Learn more about Chevy Trucks at Chevy.com. Safety or driver assistance features are no substitute for the driver's responsibility to operate the vehicle in a safe manner. Read the Vehicle Owner's Manual for important feature limitations and information.
Thanks for choosing this free Anfield Index podcast. If you'd prefer to listen to this or any of our other shows without adverts, then now's the time to check out Anfield Index Pro. With AI Pro, you can supercharge your entire listening experience. You'll not only get all of our podcasts without the ads, but you'll have them far faster with our Quick Publish feature available exclusively for subscribers. AI Pro also puts you in the heart of our sound studio, with an option to listen to many of our shows live and interact with the podcasters in real time as the shows are recording. Upgrading couldn't be easier. AI Pro is available on all popular podcast platforms. Just head on over to AnfieldIndexPro.com and get started today.
Welcome to the Daily Red, your lunchtime catch-up on all things Liverpool FC on a Thursday, where we're starting early. It is mid-morning, and it's Carol Matchett's fault that I'm awake this early. Ladies and gentlemen, it does look like Liverpool will be getting Martin Zubimendi as their new defensive midfielder. The latest updates that we have from last night from David Ornstein, Real Sociedad expect Martin Zubimendi to accept Liverpool move, according to Sociedad sources. Clubs would still need to agree a fee unless Liverpool decide to trigger the £51 million release clause, which needs to be paid in full. Now, Liverpool would not pay that fee. They would deposit it into an account. Martin Zubimendi would then transfer that money to Real Sociedad, be released and become a free agent, and then sign with Liverpool, technically as a free agent. That is how Spanish buyouts work. But it is possible that what we'll do is we'll negotiate a fee with Real Sociedad, potentially 54 million, where we pay it in installments, and it just makes it a bit more manageable for us. But it does look like this is a deal that is going to happen as things currently stand. Now, look, things can change and something could get complicated, but my belief is that it's further along than what's being reported, because I don't think we'd have allowed what's being reported to be reported if it wasn't a deal that we were very, very confident was going to be wrapped up quickly. And potentially something could get, wrapped up today. It's a great signing for us. He fits brilliantly into an Arne Slot team in terms of his possession play. Defensively, he is solid. He is very intelligent, great positionally, reads the game excellently. He's tough to get past. He's dominant in the air, which, for a lad who's 5'11", is incredibly impressive when you consider some of the big groks that play in midfield. But we saw Thiago, who's 5'8", be arguably the best midfielder we had under Jurgen when it comes to aerials. So it's more about timing, using your body, and just being clever than it is about just being a big fella, William Saliba's 6'3", and he wins 52% of his aerials or something horrendous like that. It's never about just size. It's about intelligence, bravery, timing, leap, explosiveness, etc., etc. I'm just really excited to see what he looks like in a Liverpool, in a jersey and playing. I really want to see him and Alexis together. That's a pairing, I think, that's going to be very, very hard to match in terms of their ability on the ball. I think he frees Alexis up to play that little bit higher, similar role to what he had at Brighton. Been saying since Slot was linked. His brand of football, the closest thing we'd had to it in the Premier League was De Zerbi. And while you were being fed lies about it being the closest thing to Klopp, it's a massive departure from Klopp's brand of football. It's much more like De Zerbi's. And when you look at the types of passes that Zubimendi tends to play, I mean, he can ping the ball here, there, and everywhere, but that's not his role at Real Sociedad. When you look at his passing charts, they're quite similar to Caicedo's at Brighton. You know, he's quite reserved in some of the things he does. He keeps things simple quite a lot. He always makes the right decision, though. And I think when you add him to Alexis on ball, I think we'll get a better version of what Brighton had with Caicedo and McAllister. Now, off ball, he's not quite as physical, not quite as dynamic as Moises, but he's still really good. And obviously, when you look at what's going to be behind that midfield and compare it to what Brighton had, it's night and day. I mean, if we take the attacking fullbacks, Trent is as good a defender as Purvis Estupiñán, without question. Ibu and Kwanzaa are miles better than Lewis Dunk. Miles better. And Virgil's obviously much better than Levi Colwill was. So if we land that defensive fullback, it will be somebody better than Joel Veltman. Like, it just will be somebody better than Joel Veltman. So that's hugely promising. That defence should keep us fairly solid. And we've got still the best goalkeeper in the world in Alisson Becker, who is obviously much better than either Jason Steele or Robert Sanchez. And then we've got, you know, potential dynamite in attack. Darwin, Dominic, Cody. I think those three start along with Mo. And I think if we can get Mo into as many positions of real threat as possible, not have him, you know, running the touchline, get him running in behind, get him playing into more central zones, I think he could be electric again this year and get back to the form that he's shown. You know, if we think back to 21-22, he was ridiculous until he went to AFCON. He's still okay when he came back from AFCON, but not quite the same level. Then last season, obviously, 22-23, he was very good, not the level he had been the year before. But last season, he started off like a house on fire, and then obviously goes to AFCON, gets injured in the second half of the season. He wasn't as good. But no AFCON this year. A style of football that I think is going to suit him more than what we'd played the last few years, when Pep and Linders was clearly having a huge impact on the tactical setup. I'm expecting big things from Mo. I really am. I think Zubimendi is just going to fit like a glove into all of this. If we get him and get that left back in, I just think we could really, really cause teams a lot of trouble and be a real title contender. Like a proper title contender. Anyway, that's for once those players are signed. We do have a good history with Spanish players, but we've also had some absolute shockers. I was looking at this earlier. Spanish players to play for Liverpool from now moving backwards. Stefan Bajcetic, we all think he's immensely talented. I believe he's a bit further away than some people think he is from becoming a regular starter, but no doubting the lad is very, very talented. Obviously, Thiago left in the summer, an incredible footballer. Adrian also left in the summer. He had his moments, all in the first season. We thank him for the Super League. After that, it's very patchy. So, Rafa Paez, do you remember him? No? He was at the club for about 2 months. Javi Manquillo came in on loan for the 14-15 season. Alberto Moreno, who's the last Spanish player that we signed, that we bought from a Spanish club. The last senior Spanish player that we bought from a Spanish club was 10 years ago. It's actually 10 years ago on the 5th of August. So we're just past the 10-year anniversary of Alberto Moreno coming in. Iago Aspas had been bought a year before that, as was Luis Alberto. Fair to say both of them have had good careers, just not with us. Alberto had a really good run at Lazio. Suso came over as a youngster, showed flashes, never quite made the grade. He's gone on to have a decent career. Jose Enrique, one of the most brainless footballers I've ever seen play, and now one of the worst. I don't even know what to call him. Is he a pundit? Is he just a social media whack job? But he's a gobshite. Danny Pacheco, a lot of people were high on him, but never quite made the grade at senior level. Albert Riera came in from Espanyol, was with us for 2 seasons, did a good job on the left-hand side, and then moved on. Fernando Torres, obviously a phenom when we got him. The departure was not good, but we'd already broken him. His knee was ruined. He knew his knee was ruined. He was looking for a big payday, and Chelsea were willing to give it, so away he goes. Alvaro Arbeloa, one of the most reliable fullbacks we've ever had. I still think selling him was a big mistake, but Real Madrid came in, so what can you do? Antonio Barragan looked a promising young player, never quite worked out. Mickey Rocky, he unfortunately passed away at the age of 23, looked a very talented centre-back, but was unfortunately struck down through illness. Pepe Reina, who's still playing, we signed him 19 years ago. And it's not like he was 16 or 17. He was into his 20s. And he's still playing, signed for Como this summer. Xabi Alonso joined 20 years ago. Obviously now the manager of Bayer Leverkusen. A lot of people were disappointed he didn't become our new manager, but it's probably for the best because he'd just have been leaving for Real in a couple of years. Fernando Morientes. Fair to say he flattered to deceive with us. Talented player.
This episode is brought to you by our good friends at NFL Sunday Ticket on YouTube TV. I'm sure by now you've all gotten back into your Sunday routines, but they could be even better. With NFL Sunday Ticket and YouTube TV, you get the most live NFL games all in one place, every game, every Sunday. And you can even watch up to 4 different games at once with Multiview, one of my favorite inventions of this decade. It's exactly what you need to catch all the action. Make your Sundays more magical. And also, YouTube TV is great. I got it this year. It's awesome. Sign up now at youtube.com/BS. Device and content restrictions apply. Local and national games on YouTube TV. NFL Sunday Ticket for out-of-market games excludes digital-only games.
This episode is brought to you by Shopify. Whether you're selling a little or a lot, Shopify helps you do your thing, however you cha-ching. From the launch your online shop stage, all the way to the we just hit 1 million orders stage. No matter what stage you're in, Shopify's there to help you grow. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/special offer, all lowercase. That's shopify.com/special offer.
Tremendous at his peak, but never quite showed what he was capable of in a Liverpool jersey. Josemi was Rafa's first signing, and he was then sent to Villarreal in a swap for Jan Gromkamp, which will tell you how it all went. Luis Garcia, who drinks sangria, he was signed Rafa's first summer, played a huge part in winning the Champions League, played a big part in winning the FA Cup. And then sort of started to get a bit homesick, wanted to go back to Spain, left us for Atletico Madrid. It was the right move at the right time. Antonio Nunes arrived in the deal that took Michael Owen to Real Madrid and was absolutely garbage. Sergio Canos, talented young player, never made the grade at senior level, has gone on to have a good career for himself, played for Norwich, played for Brentford, currently playing for Valencia. Not quite sure how his agent wrangled that move for him, but wrangle it he did. Decent player though. Daniel Ayala, another young centre-back that came in under Rafa, never quite made the grade at Liverpool. He's currently without a club. He was with Rotherham last season. He played for Middlesbrough for a long time. Francis Duran, who I'm not going to lie, I don't remember. He's now 36 years of age. He is retired, has been retired since he was 26. So, fair to say, his career did not pan out the way he would have hoped as a youngster. Mikel San Jose, he retired in 2022. He's 35 years of age. Looks to have had... Yeah, he did. He had a really good career, in fairness to him. Played over 300 games in La Liga. Yeah, I mean, a long career. Obviously, Athletic Bilbao is where he had his career. I'm just looking. He also was at Birmingham, Amorebieta. Fair play. He's capped by Spain 7 times. Centre-back, defensive midfield. You'd wonder why it didn't work for him at Liverpool. Because clearly he had the talent to play top-level football. Let's see. So we signed him from Bilbao's academy at 18. He was with us for 3 years, the last of which we loaned him back to Bilbao. And then he went there permanently. Now, at that time, we let him go at 21. But he went on loan the year before. We had Mascherano with signed Aquilani. Leyva was there. We knew Mash wanted to go. You'd wonder why we didn't try and hold on to him. Maybe he pushed for the move to go home. Maybe that's what it was. But he played for Bilbao then for 10 years as a regular starter and went to Birmingham and then Amorebieta, who are in the Basque region as well, a much lower league club. Fair play to him. Really good career. And then the final one on this list is Pedro Chirivella, who has gone on to have a good career for himself. He's with Nantes, has been absolutely vital to them over the last few years. Part of their team that won the cup a few years ago. Good defensive midfielder. Just a little bit lightweight, I think, for the Premier League at the time we had him. I think now he could absolutely come back and play in the Premier League. But he is captain of Nantes and seems very happy there. Has been there now 4 years. Had a couple of good loans from us. He did well on loan in the Eredivisie at both Go Ahead Eagles and Willem II, but Rodgers never gave him much of a look in. And then by the time Jurgen came along, he wanted to go on loan. He went on loan and never got first team opportunities. So that's it. That is our Spanish history, which is checkered, but we've had some belters. We've had some absolute belters. Torres and Alonso, absolutely. Reina, for the first half of his time with us, was great. The last 4 years, the less said, the better. But even some of the players that didn't work out for us, like San Jose, like Chiravella, they went on to have good careers, which shows that whatever it was that drew us to them in the first place was obviously, pretty decent scouting. This is Anfield. The lead story is about Martin Zubimendi. The second story is about Martin Zubimendi. There is a piece on our fixtures. I think I went through that one yesterday. David Lynch says Wataru Endo is absolutely determined to stay at Liverpool. I think he should. I think we should keep him. I think he's a valuable squad player. Doesn't earn a ton of money. Like, he's not taking up a huge chunk of wages. He'll be good in the cups. He's an experienced international. He's a leader. He'll be really good to bring on with 10, 15 minutes to go in games and just see them out. We saw with Endo last season, it takes him a bit of time to get up to speed. He is good enough to play in this style of football. As a starter, no. But he wasn't good enough to be a starter under the last style of football either. He just got forced into that position. I think he'll be a solid squad player for us. What else have we got here? Daniel Agger replaces ex-Liverpool teammate with new job at international level. Daniel Agger first ventured into management in 2021, has now stepped up to international level. So he managed HB Koj for until 2023, left by mutual consent, and has now been announced as the new assistant coach of the Danish national team. They've changed the manager, and Morten Vikhorst, formerly of Celtic, is the caretaker manager right now. Christian Poulsen had been an assistant under the old manager, and now he's stepped down after 3 years, and Agger has replaced him. I think that's good. I think that is good. What else is there? Liverpool FC shirt number changes we'd like to see for 24-25. I would like to see us not have players walking around with numbers in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s and 90s on their back, because there's no reason for it. Trent, it's with 66, fair enough, because it's grandfathered in at this point. But, why do we have players walking around wearing numbers in the 90s? It's absolutely ridiculous. Just really, really bugs me. And it shouldn't, but it does. So, it is what it is. Liverpool.com then. Martin Zubimendi's reason for snubbing Arsenal and Barcelona reversed by Liverpool trump card. Barcelona didn't really have the money to do the deal, and Arsenal are a small club with a manager who's got a Lego head and hires pickpockets to rob from his own players at team dinners, which is just really weird. Piece on Sepp Vandenberg, another piece on Zubimendi, a piece on Harvey Elliott, piece on Zubimendi, a piece on Richard Hughes, another piece on Zubimendi, another piece on Zubimendi, and a couple of pieces on Arne Slot. Anfield Watch, let's see what they've got for us. Okay, there's a piece about Zubimendi teaching the English how to play, which is obviously a reference to the European Championships final. 2 more pieces on Zubimendi, a piece on Alisson and why he hasn't returned to training yet, a piece on Joel Matip, who's been linked with Everton. If one Liverpool player could get away with signing for the Ev, it's probably Joel Matip. Was a piece about the new kit. Okay, and we'll check AnfieldIndex.com, where we have been very busy. So Paul Joyce says Liverpool are optimistic. That's a good sign. That's a good sign in the race to sign Martin Zubimendi. There's a statistics piece on Zubimendi written by Harper Morgan. There is a piece on David Ornstein's latest comments about the Zubimendi deal. Federico Chiesa, is he a gamble worth taking? I kind of feel like he might be. At 20 million, I kind of feel like he might be. There's a piece about the tech boost that Anfield is undergoing. And then podcast-wise, we have been busy. There's the David Lynch podcast. There is a Media Matters with Dave Davis and Lewis Steele of the Daily Mail. There is a Media Matters with Dave Davis and David Lynch. And there is the first part of our Premier League preview. Myself and Carl are doing a 4.5 part Premier League preview. So part 1 is out. We've just recorded part 2, which is Chelsea, Crystal Palace, Everton, Fulham and Ipswich. We're going alphabetically. So yesterday we did Arsenal, Villa, Brighton, Brentford and Bournemouth. And then part 2 is recorded, probably be out tomorrow. We'll record parts 3 and 4 next week. And then the half part in the Ipswich preview pod, which will come out next Thursday or Friday, we will do like our early predictions for the season. So title winner, top 4, top scorer, first manager sacked, bottom 3, etc., etc., etc. Obviously, those are subject to change with the transfer window still having a little while to run. And that's it. There is more to come. I am about to record with Jamie Kemp from the La Pausa podcast. We're going to talk all things Martin Zubimendi, so that one should be out for you today as well. And like I said, there is more to come too. So that's it from me, folks. Take care of yourselves, enjoy the day, and hopefully by the time we speak tomorrow, we'll have more on Zubimendi. Bye-bye.
We hope you enjoyed listening to this Anfield Index show. Please be sure to subscribe to our channel so future podcasts find their way to your device automatically. There's nothing quite like fan engagement, and we'd love to know what you think of anything discussed on this show. The best way to get in touch is over on our free Discord community, where both podcasters and listeners debate the hottest LFC topics 24/7. Sign up free now at anfieldindex.com/Discord. You won't regret it. You can also follow us on Twitter at Anfield Index and find us on Facebook by searching for Anfield Index. Oh, and before you go, we'd love it if you could leave us a 5-star review on your favourite podcast app. It only takes a couple of seconds, and it means the world to the people who create these free shows.
Sports Social Podcast Network.